Hey everybody, it's Chloe from Brit & Co. and I am here today at the brand new Great Gatsby musical press day. We're going to talk to some of the cast, see some new performances, and I cannot wait to take you along.
Hi, my name is Sam Pauly. I am playing Jordan Baker in The Great Gatsby, and I think my favorite thing about my character is that she's a very independent woman who's here for a good time, not for a long time, and I identify with that.
I'm Jeremy Jordan, and I play I play Jay Gatsby. What I love about him is his utter conviction in his sole goal of winning this girl back that he lost, that he once loved, and that he will stop at absolutely nothing. It's kind of insane to a degree, but it's also inspiring to see someone go to such lengths for something that he has such conviction in.
My name is Noah J. Ricketts. I'm playing Nick Carraway in The Great Gatsby. And I mean, just like Nick, I'll never forget arriving on the scene in New York 10 long years ago and experiencing this epic place, all the ups and downs and everything in between. And so that's what I love about Nick, is that you see him at the beginning of his journey, from this great Midwestern boy, bright-eyed and wonderful. And as we know from The Great Gatsby, ups and downs happen along the way.
Hi, my name is Sarah Chase. I play Myrtle Wilson in The Great Gatsby, and I love Myrtle's hope and optimism. She's a gal who believes she can have it all.
My name is Eva Noblezada. I play Daisy Buchanan, and I love what she wears. I love crying on stage.
I mean, I think this is the show to see because it's probably on your high school reading list, and if you know any tale, this is the perfect introduction to all things Broadway, a story that you know and love, told in real time.
This is the show that everyone should be, because we've got it all. We've got the best dancing and choreography I've ever seen, with the best dancers I've ever seen. Beautiful soaring music sung by the best singers in the biz, and a story that is timeless about love and money and what we do for it and why.
I mean, selfishly, just because this cast is amazing, and also you always want a show that you're doing to do well. But this cast is insane. The dancers, the ensemble, the team, literally everyone is giving everything, and it shows. The fact that we're feeling this excited in the rehearsal room and we haven't even gone to the stage yet, or seen our costumes really, it's very exciting.
I think not only does it have these lovely musical theater elements that make people fall in love with musicals and theater, big dance numbers, a huge orchestra, singers that will melt your faces, but also I just think it's a true American story. It's a tragedy. My wife, who's the book writer, likes to say that it is a great American tragedy disguised as the best party you have ever seen. Yeah.
One, I think it's a show you should see this fall for the cast, because the cast is stacked, and I feel like I am consistently amazed every single day when I watch a number or a scene. I've seen it so many times already, but I'm still blown away every day at the new things that this cast is finding. Come see it for the incredible set and the costumes. Come see it for the story that maybe you haven't revisited since you had to read the book in high school, because it's a story that is old, but it's still so relevant. And there are so many aspects of it that I connect with every day.
Oh gosh, it's got everything. The visual aspect of it alone is going to just blow your mind. And it's kind of incredible, the power of theater just being in the presence of something that's so grand as the story and as the set and as the music and as the cast. It's a story that I think people are familiar enough with that they have an in if they don't really know what to expect. And the music kind of runs the gamut of genres, It can sort of verge a little bit more on classical Broadway to contemporary pop. And the dance elements are also really relatable. I think we've sort of updated the world of 1920s dance to sort of the modern day, and it's this beautiful kind of hybrid that Dominique's created. There's so many reasons to come to the theater. There's nothing like it. I mean, we've gotten to a place in the world where we're all just flipping through Instagram reels, and we got a 30-second attention span. So to sort of sit down and be enveloped by something from start to finish is kind of magical and not something that's normal anymore, and it should be.
I think this is the perfect moment for Great Gatsby because its themes are still universal, especially today, that we all struggle with the value of love versus money. and what we would do for either of those things and what we will sacrifice and what we find important and not important, and that's very important today.
Well, our play starts in 1922, right after the Spanish flu, so the last epic pandemic. And so that's why everyone was itching to party and get this thing roaring on. And so I think I couldn't think of a more timely time to tell this story, that we need release, we need fun, we need to be able to express our emotions through something so epic.
What's funny is our first line in the show is, I don't know about you, but I'm done with the Spanish flu, which is kind of how we feel coming out of those horrible few years we had, the parallelogram. Horrible, horrible. And I feel like a lot of us, including myself, are still kind of struggling with releasing and abandoning the horrible feelings of what that time period gave us. So this feels like an escape, and not just an escape, it feels like a place to go where we can let loose and celebrate life and also enjoy tragedy, because what better thing would you want to do on a Thursday night than go to the theater and cry with your friends?
Well, we're interested in writing a show that takes place at a lot of parties to make that party feel like a party that you want to go to today. And the 1920s, the music was so exciting. You know, jazz, big band had just been born. It was exciting and sexy, but also there's a danger if it all felt... You don't want to feel too pastiche-y, you don't want to feel like a museum piece. So it's like, you know, Jason was like, what if we like kind of take these jazz ideas, but add a backbeat, add a Bruno Mars horn section to it, and make it more accessible and interesting, and make it feel like, as I said, a party that you'd want to go to now.
What he said.
It feels very cyclical, right? We're like 100 years from the action of the play, which feels very right, you know. But at the same time, I think that the play deals with a lot of sort of societal disparity, and it's something that hasn't changed and maybe has even gotten worse today. And so many people have a certain amount of privilege, and while other people don't, it can be really hard to climb that ladder. And Gatsby is one of the few people that is able to pull himself up from the sort of, you know, bottom of the barrel to the absolute pinnacle of society. But in doing so, it has caused, you know, utter chaos. And there's still not a world in which we can really do that without consequence. You know, there's no true equality.
I think this is a great time to be telling this story, one, because of a lot of the large discrepancies in wealth in the world and how it disproportionately affects certain people. I think this is also a great story to see now because of the things that women were going through back then and a lot of things that they're still going through now. This show, and for me specifically, this character, there are so many moments. I was talking to our book writer, Kate Carrion, about this morning because we did one of my scenes yesterday, and I was like, yeah, I think I just really have to stop disassociating with some of the things that are said to my character or the way that she's treated so that I can just fully receive them, because it's painful and it's hurtful and it's very reflective of what a lot of women are still experiencing. I would think that people probably already know that it's not very easy, but I think there's an assumption that like once a show is open, like you do your show for 3 hours at night and that's it. But what's crazy is that every single day from sunup to sundown revolves around those 3 hours of doing that show. The time that I wake up, if I go out and talk to people, when I eat, you know, when I go to the gym, it's a lot more strict than I think a lot of people realize. And everything in New York is expensive, so it's hard. It's really hard.
I think what would surprise people about being a performer in New York City is that it's not all glamorous. It's for all the visible moments such as these that you see us working, there is 10 times more moments where we're sitting on our couch wishing we were doing this.
I hope that people reflect on their own experience in America. I hope people reflect on this idea that we call the American dream, and I hope that people can see themselves in the characters that we've created.
I'm excited for people to just experience why musical theater exists, when all those elements come together to make an experience that you can't get from watching a TV show or a movie. You have to experience live in a theater with other people experiencing the same thing at the same time, and that is why theater exists.
musicals are always fundamentally about hope, I think, that you want at the end of the day to believe that there's something to hope and strive for. Great Gatsby is a very tricky story because there's a kind of hope in The Great Gatsby that's unattainable, but you keep reaching and you keep trying, which feels like a quintessential American thing, which is why this story has resonated for so long. So we hope we deliver that.
And be thoroughly entertained.
Thoroughly entertained.
We have a sequence that we did not present today that is called The Met, and it's when Nick Carraway is invited to go uptown to Tom Buchanan's secret apartment up in Sugar Hill, and he realizes that Tom is having an affair. And in one song, we go through an entire evening of this party and watch it kind of fracture and fall apart, and everyone gets drunker and more dangerous, and yet it's all one song. And I think like when you can move through time in that way, and the way that it's staged by Dominique Kelly and Mark Rooney is one of my favorite moments. And I just think it's unlike anything I've ever seen before.
Very cool.
And I'm very proud of it.
I love this. We have a number called New Money, which I always approached from I wanted to feel like Bang Bang Into the Room from Jessie J. So what Dom has done with
my daughter's favorite song, by the way.
Song. What Dom has done with it feels like that. That number feels like that. That feels exceptionally special. And I think the other thing is Jeremy Jordan sings a song called Past Is Catching Up to Me in the second act, which is there is nothing like Jeremy Jordan singing a big song.
It's any role, even if it's originating or like taking over, it's always your own, and you're always going to find different things. I'm going to be still finding things about Daisy on November 12th, so the journey of it is very expansive if you allow it to be, which is great, but also it comes with challenges. There are things when I started where I was like, ooh, I didn't realize I would have to like work on this about myself, because as an actress, there are certain boundaries that I can't have on stage. I want to be able to be limitless. I want to be able to try everything and do everything with confidence. And if I don't have confidence in those areas in my life, then I might not be able to be the correct vessel for that as my character. So those types of challenges, but that comes with any kind of new thing, I guess.
It's really hard to get everything just right. So you continually go back to the original source material to make sure that you're hitting all the points and that nobody's disappointed. So, things get lost in the mix. So you always try to go back to that original source and figure out what exactly you need to tell.